Hi B, Byron here. I want to walk you through the process of watering the plants. I'm gonna just put this on YouTube because it's probably gonna be a couple minutes long and I don't want to send it to you via text or email or something. But I'll make sure that you have access to it. First little thing, I have moved all the indoor plants to the bottom shelf out here, just because I think that'll be easier and better to have them all in one place. So a couple things. First, I guess, let's go through the mechanism of watering. So you can use either of these jars. Feel free to fill them up in the sink, or if you want to use the water pitcher over there, that's fine too. For sink water, this water's kind of dirty. I have collected a bucket of rainwater that can be just quick and easy. Some of the plants can just be lowered in water if that's easy. So let's do like this one, for instance. I'll go through all of the plants and kind of how often or what they need. So this one, cute little maple, well draining soil. This one will probably, so it's always gonna look kind of dry just because it's such well draining soil. You will particularly be able to tell if this one's dry because I'm sure this clover will be wilty. Right now it's fine. The last time I watered all of these was maybe 4 days ago. So that's generally, that's generally how often. So this is one way you could do it. Just take this and put it either just below the surface or like as it's coming up. One of those, maybe two of those should be fine. Another thing you can do is just hold it right above the surface and the water will come up like that. Then lift it up and just take it back. So that's one way to do things. That'd be, I think, relatively easy. All of these have holes in the bottom. So that's one thing that if you put it in with the holes in the bottom, the water will go through. So let's do another one of those just for an example. So this one, you can look at the top, feel it, look, it's pretty dry. So yeah, this is what it would look like if it needs water, or if it looks worse than that. And again, probably every 3 or 4 days, unless it's been a really hot day. So just holding it just below the surface of the water, water should be coming up from the bottom. If you're a little impatient, which is totally fine, you could just tip a little bit of water in the top. A little bit of water in the top. The risk there is washing the soil away. So this is a small pot. That probably only needs it kind of once. Another way to tell, so generally, a way to tell if the soil is dry is if it looks kind of dry. And that one. So these all look pretty dry. This is fine. So one of the things that you can do, so this one doesn't look super dry, especially if you go just beneath the surface. You can feel with your finger, it's still a little damp. This one, for instance, does look a little dry beneath the surface, a little damp, so like 5 days would be okay, but any more than that. So this one dries out really quickly. This one's dry all the way to the bottom. Yeah, and actually dumping water on this one is really easy to wash away the soil. So this one specifically might be good with this. I hope this can be a fun, meditative, calming process. It usually is for me. It's the whole point of bonsai. Dip a little bit of water if you're impatient. As long as when you pick it up, water is dripping out the bottom, that's how you know it's probably pretty good. So the littler they are and the taller they are, the quicker they are to dry out. So, like this one for instance, that looks pretty dry to me. So let's look at the other method of watering. I'm gonna pick up this bucket. I got this water from the rainwater, but again, you can get it from the tap. So for instance, let's try this one. I would just gently pour some water, pour some water, pour some water. If you really want, you could just... The risk of pouring it too harshly or abruptly is washing the soil away. But this one, for instance, nice and easy. Fill it to the top, don't overflow. Maybe do that 1 or 2 or 3 times until the water starts coming out the bottom. So that's how you know when it's full. Let's try another easy one. Let's try this one. So fill it to the top, wait a little bit for it to come down. Water's already kind of coming at the bottom, that's good. But fill it to the top maybe one more time, just for funsies. Yeah, you'll be able to hear the water dripping. This one, pour it in. Dripping pretty quickly. So this one, water doesn't like to go in this one very quickly, so needs a couple of douses. But you can tell once water starts coming at the bottom, it's kind of flowing. Ooh, so you know that's good. So you can like move this out of the way to get to the ones behind. Fill once. While that one's draining, you could move on to other ones. So like fill that up. Starts to come out the bottom once. Fill it up again, just for good measure. Sometimes, something that I find efficient is when one is dripping like this, take one of the smaller ones and let it catch the drippies. It's a little hard to do, to time properly. So fill it up. There might be bubbles. It's fun. Woohoo! See, this one has now stopped draining. So while this one's draining now, we can fill this one again. Brilliant. Use this one, catch some of the... So you can be a little bit strategic. I'm going a little randomly. You might want to just, for the sake of trying to not miss any, go a little bit more organized than this. So this one, for instance, you can see the leaves are a little wilty. So this one needs a lot of water. We already got these ones. This one. This one. So again, one of the, if you go too quickly, it'll overflow. Wow, isn't that pretty? So give it a chance to get down, and then fill it a second time. So, whoops, I'm displacing a little bit of water. It's better to go a little bit closer. So then, that one's done because it's dripping. That's fine. A couple of the others. So I'm out of water by now. I'm just gonna go and refill. But I'm actually gonna go ahead and do all the others in that other style. So generally you'll want to grab it by the pot, not the stem. So this one, kind of dry. There we go. Pull it up, wait for it to drain. If it's still pooling, then it's not gone all the way through. Do it a second time. And it can go back where it was. I got those ones, this one. So sometimes it'll just float, and that's kind of pretty. But once the water gets in, it'll start to sink, so. So for instance, if you just like dunk this whole thing, the soil on top will come off, and that's not great. But you can get a little bit like from the side. So it's dripping, you know that's good. So these ones sometimes will get a little bit from the bottom. I'm gonna go ahead and water them with the pitcher. Boop. Boop. So these two are molding, which I don't think there's much I can do about that, so leaving them outside is probably better. This one. Let it go down once. So, and then the last one here, is this one. So generally, yeah, did I already say grab it by the pot, not the plant? Ooh, that's fun. So yeah, if the soil is really stable and there's not a lot of stuff, you can lower the whole thing in. Ooh, this one might be fun. Have the whole tree underwater. It's kind of cool. It's okay for the foliage to get wet. So that's interesting. Bubbles and stuff. Anyway, so, and then you'll know like, oh, bubbles are stopped. That means there's no air underneath. That's good. But you don't need to wait the whole time. So, yeah, so look at that again. Wow. The water just sinks right on through. And it's coming out the bottom. So, that's pretty good. That is kind of the whole process. I don't think I missed any. I don't think I got this one very much. This one can do with a lot of water. Cool. So then you can check them. You all seem to be doing pretty good. Honestly, a couple things. I expect, oh, see, even so, I forgot one or two. This one. This is just an oak seedling and probably dead already. And that actually gets to that point, is that I expect probably a couple of these to die over the course of the summer. Obviously, I hope that they don't. Oh, did I say these ones just switch the water every week or so? The roots will grow. It'll be fine. Yeah, just like literally dump out. And these should be fresh tap water. Yeah, so honestly, these ones aren't doing great. This one is not doing anything. This one might die. This one might die. This one is probably already dead. I just can't see it. Obviously, I don't want to lose any of them, but this one is not the most stable. Doug firs are really hard to keep alive, and this one's tiny, so, you know, no problems. This one's pretty fragile. It might actually get really, really big. This one is still kind of struggling. It's a little new. Some of these might die. This one is not doing anything, so I don't know if it's already dead. So, all that to say, like, do your best. It's okay if some of them don't make it. The most important ones are this one, and this one. Yeah, I mean, I kind of like them all, obviously, but one other thought, if there's a big storm, like if it's a big windstorm, then just put all the pots together in like the center of the, or I mean, just put them on the ground or something. I don't know. I often just kind of stack them close together so that if they like tip over, there's no problem. Like if they're close together like that, then they're not going to tip over. But if they're too close together the whole time, then they're not going to be getting enough sunlight. So, yeah, that was very long. If you're not talking to someone through it, then usually it might go a little bit quicker. Yeah, so I'll be in touch. I'll write all this down as well, so you don't have to watch this video each time. But I appreciate it a lot. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing well, and I'll see you soon.